Well, there's been a lot of chatter on Capitol Hill as of late regarding privacy from cybersecurity. The concerns are many, from wiretapping to domestic drones. It seems everywhere you turn, someone or something is keeping a watchful eye. But there are at least a few in Congress that want to take action to defend privacy. Congressman Ed Markey of Massachusetts has drafted two bills. One would stop routine cell phone tracking by the government. The other would require the Federal Aviation Administration to instate privacy protections for licenses to operate drones. To discuss this in more depth, I'm joined now by Stephen Titch, a policy analyst, telecommunications expert at the Reason Foundation. Stephen, welcome. So can you tell us more about this legislation?
Well, we've got several things going. We've got the legislation concerning drones, and we've got legislation concerning wireless phones and the government's ability to get records from wireless phone and wireless phone companies. That's the Markey bill. The cybersecurity, the wireless bill will essentially require what would be normal Fourth Amendment protections when the police or law enforcement, the FBI, goes out to get information regarding geolocation. It requires the government to to provide information about how their, the number of requests they do. It requires them to essentially, they cannot really do these what are called cell tower dumps, where they essentially ask for information about all the communications activity that has come out of one cell sector. These are kind of fishing expeditions. So bottom line, what's beginning here is at least congressional action to extend Fourth Amendment protections into the world of cyberspace, into the world of information that's traveling the internet or stored outside someone's or off someone's computer in a third-party database.
Now, I know, Stephen, that you've expressed optimism about this legislation before. What kind of a chance do you think it stands?
It's tough to assess the chance of any legislation in Congress right now. It's because we're approaching the end of the session, we're approaching the election. What's good is that it's being brought up. Up to now, sadly, I think it's been ignored as the government's power and law enforcement's really aggressive move into these areas have gone without any sort of response from Congress, any sort of popular reaction. So I think the best thing out of this so far is getting the debate started. Whether anything happens in this session, I think is very questionable. But this is a discussion we need to we need to be talking about exactly how much power the government has to just go in and look at that personal information that may be stored outside your own home, outside in other computers or servers.
All right, so you seem pretty skeptical that it will actually go anywhere anytime soon, but some of the things you described earlier, in terms of protecting our privacy, seem pretty basic, seem pretty sensible. So why isn't there more of a push from Congress on these issues? I mean, they are supposed to protect the public's interest, right?
Unfortunately, it's something that's going under the radar right now, I'm afraid to say. I think there's still a big push to show that legislators are strong on security. It's why we have, even though everybody kind of acknowledges that the TSA airport system isn't the greatest, nobody wants to do anything about it because nobody wants to be soft on security. The same thing now we have with drones and with other aspects of the Patriot Act is that it's a way of showing, for politicians to show they're strong on security. It's a little bit of, I think it's a little bit of cowardice. It's a little bit of reticence for them to stand up and say, wait a minute, we've got to look at what the Constitution says about this. Government is overreaching in a lot of these cases.
Do you think, Stephen, that it could possibly be a problem of understanding that, everything technology is advancing so rapidly that Congress may be kind of stuck in the past? They don't have fully grasped, technology these days.
In part, ironically, I think more it is a failure to grasp technology, but it's also a failure to grasp really what the capabilities are. And there's a lot of faith being put in the effectiveness of video surveillance. You see movies like The Bourne Identity, 24, where really that's kind of a romanticized and very inaccurate picture about how these technologies work. Yes, there are large surveillance systems, there are facial recognition systems, but they don't work that way in the real world. They're prone to mistakes. You can't follow a suspect around a city from camera to camera. But it looks like an easy fix.
All right. Stephen, don't mean to cut you off. We're kind of getting to the end of the show here, but hopefully these two pieces of legislation provide some kind of glimmer of hope. And thank you so much for coming on the show. That was Stephen Titch, policy analyst for the Reason Foundation.